Hi everybody, it's Anna back with Unearthed Arcana, and we are here today for our 4th episode of our new Skyrim Wildlander mod pack Let's Play series, following the permadeath adventures of Tanisi, aka Tanny. Tanny is our two-handed Dunmer heavy-armored spellblade lady, just chopping off heads, murdering people. Also, we have our new co-star today, Sergio. Aw, look at the pretty horsey. This is our new friend that we adopted last time. Sergio means friend in Dunmer, which is a cutesy horsey name. Also, by adopted, I mean we murdered some skooma dealers and stole their horse. That's basically the same thing in Skyrim, right? Adoption, murder, and robbery. That's all the same. That's all in a day's work for a Skyrim adventure. For those of you who are familiar with my video playthroughs and my runs, feel free to skip this recap section and just jump straight to the gameplay. But if you're newer to the gameplay and haven't seen these videos before, stick around, I'll do a quick recap. So we are playing the Skyrim Wildlander mod pack, which is one of those total immersion overhauls that makes the game look and sound better. It adds survival mechanics, role-playing elements, it makes combat harder. This is really the definitive the most engaging way for me to enjoy Skyrim in 2025 while staying true to the core vanilla aesthetic that we all loved about the original game. If you haven't played it, I really encourage you to check it out. You can either download it directly via the Wabbajack tool, or you can browse the subreddit, the Discord server, the Wildlander wiki, which is super thorough. This series sort of assumes that you have a baseline knowledge of Wildlander. Maybe you're not a Wildlander expert, but you're sort of familiar with the mechanics. Or you're a Wildlander veteran who's just looking to improve their game and maybe play some permadeath runs of your own. If you aren't familiar with Wildlander, you can still totally enjoy this series, either as an introduction to the mod pack, or just because you enjoy watching modded Skyrim playthroughs, particularly ones with lots of gore and violence and foul language. Lots of violent antics. Because those are the best playthroughs anyway for a role-playing game. So whether you're new to Wildlander or coming back to learn some tips and tricks, I hope you enjoy the playthrough. As far as our run itself goes, we have 3 rules for this run. First rule is this is a permadeath run, so if Tanisi dies, that's the end of the run. Won't be able to reload a game unless there is some calamitous bug or glitch that causes her to die. Second rule is we're using no HUD, so even in first person, if I'm swinging my sword, moving around in combat, there's no health bars, there's no crosshairs even if I have my spells out. And then finally, we're using unpaused menus. So even though my inventory menu is open, even in first person, the game still continues to run, so I'll have to access potions and scrolls in real time in combat. And I just think all of these different ways of playing Wildlander, permadeath, no HUD, unpaused menus, makes the game a lot more exciting, makes it more fun to watch, and makes combat have much higher stakes. Generally speaking, all of my runs tend to have those rules, but we're going to be doing the full playthrough now to showcase how that works out. As far as the last few episodes go, so in our first episodes, Tanisi crossed over the Helgen border down south. Tanny is a Morrowind native who was a mercenary in Cyrodiil where she cut her teeth, and now she's up here in Skyrim to kind of like make a name for herself and get lots of gold, murder lots of people, you know, just like normal wandering warrior things. In the first few episodes, we cleared out some bandits around Fort Neugrad and south from Sanctum. Second episode, we went to Helgen and then cleared out Embershard Mine and some of the bandits around Riverwood. And then last episode, we traveled from Riverwood to Whiterun and joined the Companions. And then after joining the Companions, we did a quest for Farkas from the Companions to beat up a farmer to send a message to her. We also went over to White River Watch, which is where our character is right now, to retrieve Amren's family sword. Amren is a Redguard in Whiterun whose wife won't let him go out on a dangerous solo quest to go retrieve his own sword, so he has us do it for him. And that's where we are right now, is after clearing out White River Watch last episode. We also went just north of Whiterun to a little cave on the north side of the plateau. And that's where we killed those skooma dealers and where we adopted Sergio, aka stole her from the dead skooma dealers. And then this episode, we're going to be heading over to Valtheim Towers. We have a bandit bounty to kill the leader of Valtheim Towers, so we'll go do that first. And then after we clear out Valtheim, we'll head back to Whiterun, do a little bit of downtime, and then we'll head back into the Whiterun Plains to hopefully kill some more bandits. That's kind of where we're headed for today's episode. As far as Tanny's build goes, Tanny's level 6, almost level 7. I'm sure she's going to level up during this Valtheim Towers fight. We're currently going to be focusing on increasing her health to about 150 base health, and then we'll switch over to Magicka. And then as far as the perks go, we have a split between Alteration and Restoration for some defense, sustainability, and utility magic. Alteration will also give us some offensive spells later. We'll eventually go into enchanting to make our weapons a little stronger, but we're not going to invest in that now because we just don't really have the perks or the money to support that at this point. I grabbed a point in smithing just as a convenience thing for the first few episodes, but you totally don't need to grab this perk. You can just pay blacksmiths to do all of the smithing that you want. Definitely going to be going deep in the heavy armor trees. We'll probably end up filling this heavy armor tree, or this heavy armor skill out completely if we live long enough. Last episode we picked up Relentless Onslaught, which is really a game changer for a heavy armor character because it allows us to sprint in heavy armor, and then also gives us some extra damage reduction when we're running around the battlefield, so if enemies are attacking us while we're moving, we don't take as much damage. And then probably this episode or next episode we'll pick up combat casting, which will allow us to finally cast some basic spells in heavy armor without a huge magicka penalty. And we'll also go into combat training too to offset some of the stamina penalties of power attacking and moving in heavy armor. We got 1 point in block. We'll definitely get the next 2 points, experience blocking and strong grip over the next few levels, but for now we're fine with just the improved blocking perk. For two-handed, we're definitely going to fill this tree out, but we're going to primarily focus on greatswords. I really enjoy greatswords. They're super fun. I really like their aesthetic, and they also hit very hard and they're very fast. Unfortunately, they're not very good against heavily armored enemies, though, so we'll probably branch out into Warhammer focus for Warhammers and battle staffs. So that way we have some options against some of the heavily armored mid-game and late-game enemies. Definitely not going to grab any of these like milk drinker, marksman, evasion, sneak perks, blah. Definitely not doing that. That's boring. We're charging people head on and chopping them to pieces. But we do have some lock picking, and we might get another perk in lock picking too, so Tanny can open chests and get access to some of the gold that is otherwise harder to come by. We'll also pursue the right side of the speech tree for Dragonborn shouts, but we have to unlock shouting before we can do that. And finally, we'll also do some alchemy perks, both for the poisons and the potions, but also for the fortified muscles buff, which gives us extra health and stamina. And then in the late game, the alchemical intellect buff, which gives us extra magicka and spellcasting abilities. As far as Tanny's active effects go, you may have noticed that she has a lot of stamina right now, and that's because she's rocking the Stone of the Steed, which gives us a bonus 100 stamina, which I think is really essential in the early game, because the thing that is most likely to kill you in the early game is honestly just running out of stamina in a fight. And if you can't swing your sword and deal damage, if you can't maneuver your character, you're definitely going to die, even if you're a pretty good player. Then we're also using the Blessing of Talos, which gives us some extra armor penetration. Okay, I want to still go over my inventory a little bit. I'll just go over a few things really quickly. So I think the big changes from the previous episodes, like we're still using steel weaponry and kind of the same armor. Last episode, though, we got the Ring of Major Sure Grip from a courier that delivered us a birthday present. I randomized Tanny's birthday back in episode 1, and it just so happened to fall on the 3rd episode of the runs. That was kind of a cool overlap. And then we also are now using the Iron Hand Gauntlets, which are steel gauntlets that give us a bonus of 10% damage to two-handed. We snagged those from Hajvar Iron Hand, whose corpse is somewhere up that mountain over there. Sorry, buddy. Tons of potions here. We'll probably use a bunch of these for the fights today. A few scrolls, some food items that are mostly on our horse. I'll go over her inventory in a second. Lots of alchemy ingredients. We're mostly just hanging on to these for now until we get our alchemy perks. A few letters and quests, a few keys, and some miscellaneous items in our inventory. And then on Sergio's inventory, the vast majority of stuff on Sergio is what we're going to be selling when we get back to town. I have kind of a rule of thumb that I only loot things that have a value per weight threshold of 20 or higher. I find that's just a good balance where we're still making enough money to sell stuff, but we're not coming back to town with like thousands of pounds of iron armor that would realistically break our character's knees if she tried to walk in it. The only exception to this is really these dwarven gauntlets here, which I got from this horrible bandit lady who attacked my horse last time. Like, screw you, lady. We murdered her and chopped her into pieces. It was self-defense, I swear. She attacked my horse first. But we have these dwarven gauntlets that we'll eventually use once we get dwarven armor. I tend not to mix and match dwarven gauntlets with other armor because I think they look really bad. A few potions here on our horse, some food items, which we're definitely going to grab a few of those for Valtheim Towers. Spare alchemy ingredients, some skill books, and then a bunch of gold as well. Okay, let's finish up with the recap and head over to Valtheim Towers. So Valtheim Towers is one of those iconic early game dungeons that people do in Wildlander. I feel like some people just avoid this dungeon until they're like more in the early mid-game, but you can totally do this in the early game. I'd recommend that the minimum perk that you need to do this as a heavy armored character is Relentless Onslaught, because if you're not sprinting in heavy armor against these bandits, they're definitely going to kill you. Speaking of things we're gonna kill, let's kill this wolf, because this freaking wolf is just so aggressive and is clearly gonna attack my horse if left to his own devices. God, wolves are so violent in this game. I try not to kill the animals of Skyrim, but like they never leave you a choice in Wildlander. They're always just like out for blood. Anyway, so you can do Valtheim Towers a bit earlier, but at a minimum you really need Relentless Onslaught, otherwise it's gonna be a really difficult fight. Valtheim Towers you can kind of see over in the distance there. There's like stone towers and a bridge that spans that gap. Before we head over there though, I'm gonna run my horse over to this Stormcloak camp. I think it's just called like the Whiterun Stormcloak camp or something. Because there's so many fucking animals in this area and I don't want them to attack and murder my poor horse. So I find that the best way to keep her safe is just leaving her here. And then I'll also just take this opportunity to reapply Healing Aura because I know that's worn off. Sadly, I have to take my armor off in order to cast spells because I don't have that combat casting perk just yet. Okay, let's head over to Valtheim now. So we're doing this Valtheim Tower clear at around level 6, which I think is like a perfect time to do it, because you have enough perks that you deal enough damage, and like you're not going to instantly die to bandits, but it's not so late in the game that it's a trivial fight. You also got to watch out for this saber cat here, who I'm sure is going to try to attack us the moment we turn our backs. Valtheim Tower is one of the 3 hardest bandit fights in the kind of early Wildlander game. The other 2 bandit fights that are pretty difficult are Lost Knife Hideout, which is in Eastmarch, and then there's Broken Ore Grotto, which is north of Solitude. There's also Knife Point Ridge and Falkwraith, which can be pretty dicey, but I feel like that one's not as hard as the other 3. And then of those 3, I think Valtheim Towers is probably the most difficult, just because there are so many fucking bandits in this area, and that just makes the fight a lot harder. So now that we can see Valtheim Towers more clearly, you can get a sense of the tactical like terrain layout here. Like there's a tower over here, we gotta get across this bridge, there's another tower over here. Lots of kind of like cool features to manage throughout the battle. The 3 things that we're going to have to focus on to be successful in this battle. The first thing is just managing the sheer number of enemies that spawn at Valtheim Tower. So even in the base version of Requiem, which is a core mod of Wildlander, you're still going to get like 15 to 20 bandits in Valtheim Tower. Let's get a little closer. You can see that they've spawned. Yes, there's like 3 on the bridge, like another one up there. There's a bunch of them in front. So you're looking at like, 15 to 20 bandits just in the base version of Wildlander. But then I have a mod called More Spawns Randomize, which does exactly what the name suggests. Very creative mod title. And adds a whole bunch of random spawns. So Valtheim can have anywhere from like 15 to 25 bandits. So the first challenge of this fight is managing all of those bandits. Second challenge of the fight is the fact that there are so many fucking archers in Valtheim, and you have to kind of balance between picking off melee people as they overextend, plus running down all of the archers and crossbowmen before they can kill you. We have steel plate armor, which gives us this extra range damage resistance of 300. But crossbows are still super, super scary. They have a ton of armor penetration and they hit really hard. So we'll prioritize the archers before killing the melee people. But we will still pick off melee people if they present openings. Then the final challenge of all time is the end boss, who's up there in that little scaffolding on top of the northern tower. Her name is Elsi the Spiker, and she's got kind of a sad backstory. She was a farmer, and then she was a refugee from the Civil War, and then she and the other refugees settled at Valtheim Towers, and then she eventually became kind of like a murderous bandit warlord after her family died. Tanny doesn't really give a shit about any of that, though. Tanny's just like, alright lady, you're trying to kill me, we're gonna kill you first. Elsi is a heavy armored fighter that specializes in battle staffs. Battle staffs are basically faster warhammers that deal slightly less damage. So they swing really fast, they hit really hard, and they have a ton of armor penetration. If she hits us with a power attack on her battle staff, it'll probably kill us in one hit. We can probably tank a few of her normal swings, but they'll still deal a lot of damage because we have no special resistance against bludgeoning damage, like just ranged and slashing. Anyway, so those are kind of the challenges of Valtheim Tower. You're never really ready to do Valtheim Tower. Like, it's always just sort of a take a deep breath and go for the plunge. It's just like a rough fight. Let's make another one of these stamina regeneration potions. I think I have one in my inventory. And then let's also make some extra stamina potions. We're going to combine honeycomb, beehive husk, and purple mountain flower. And that's just going to make us a really basic, like, armor rating stamina combo potion. I'm just going to make 5 of those. And then we'll hotkey that as sort of our main stamina potion for the fight. But we also have the remarkable health and stamina potions if we get in any trouble. And then I'm just going to use the crude health potions to start. But if we take bigger hits, then I'll use the better health potions. But I like the crude potions just to top off and because we have them in our inventory. Let's get our food ready. So let's do beef stew for extra health, chicken dumpling for extra damage, lavender honey dumpling in case we run into any mages, a little bit of extra magic resistance, and then the meat pie for a little bit of extra stamina, and then we'll wash it all down with a little bit of water. Okay, let's pop our stamina regeneration potion. Let's also apply some mage armor preemptively. This is going to wear off really quickly, but that's fine. We'll just use it up front. Sometimes these bandits give you an opportunity to actually talk, and like they'll try to shake you down, but other times they'll just attack you outright. It sort of depends on how many of them spawn. Okay, looks like they're just gonna fucking attack us. God damn it, Valtheim is so scary. Okay, let's let these melee people get lured closer to us. And we're gonna pop a stamina potion, run past them, and then run down this archer. Kind of running at a slight angle so that way I can dodge. Let's get a bash, let's kill that guy. Get a bash, let's kill that person here. Get a bash, let's kill that person. I'm totally fine trading an axe hit to kill that person here. Let's ignore this Dunmer lady. Oh Jesus, more fucking archers. Let's kill her, top off with a health potion, hunt down the next archer, kill him. This person's overextended, so we'll get a slash. Jesus, we gotta get to this archer in the back. Let's pop a stamina and a health potion, but let's quickly tag that guy because he's overextended. Now let's hunt down this archer over here. He's all like tactical, hiding behind a rock and shit. Let's kill that guy there. Gotta keep moving because there's more fucking crossbowmen. Let's kill that guy there. Oh boy, lots of bandits that way. Move, move, move. Okay, let's pop our armor rating potion because I saw mage armor just wore off. We'll pop another healing potion. Oh, fuck, here's fucking Elsi. Elsi's the boss. She's super scary. Tons of bandits here. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to make a break into the towers. Let's ignore this dude down there. I don't give a shit about that guy. He seems to be hiding. But I do want to hunt down these other archers. Let's come up here. Let's make sure there's no archers. I think we're good. Yeah, no other archers here. But I will grab this health potion, which is like right by their toilet. I think that's really funny. Okay, let's quickly assess where we're at. I'm going to pop a two-handed potion here because we're about to brawl these people. Oh boy, Elsi's right there. We're getting some bashes. Let's see if we can do a little duel with Elsi while we have an opportunity. I'll fight her 1v1 if we have the chance. Come on, Elsi, let's fucking go. Elsi's dead. Elsi had some openings there, which made it easier for us to kill her. Do not want to get cornered here, and there's too many enemies. I'm actually just going to run past these people. Pop another stamina potion. Let's hunt down some more archers. Let's kill this person. Let's go for our next archer. I'm not even going to bother to dodge the arrow. We're just going to kill this Argonian. I think we're good on archers. Whoa, jeez. That was super scary. Oh my god, it got really dark outside. Let's make sure there's no archers over on this ridge. I think we're good so far. Looks like there's an archer still on the bridge over there. Okay, let's ignore these guys. Let's ignore this person. Let's run over this way and take down this archer. Okay, see if someone overextends down the stairs because no one's flanking us, so we're in a good position to fight people with our back this way. Let's do a power attack on this guy. One of those rear power attacks. Yeah, still okay, no one's flanking us. If this lady does a power attack, we can kill her with a bash interruption. Oh, this guy's overextended, so we can kill him. Come on, lady, give me a power attack. People are playing really conservative right here. Let's pop another stamina regeneration potion and another two-handed potion. Hit this guy with a rear power attack. See if we can follow up and kill him. Got a shield up in time. Let's repeat. Let's do another power attack. So that killed him. He walked right into it. Same thing on this guy. Hit him. Follow up. Kill him. Looks like there's two more bandits. Same thing. Let's do power attack. Kill her. See if this guy does a power attack. Get him in an opening here. Come on, buddy. Give me that power attack. Let's go, bro. Let's go. There's the power attack. And finish him off. Dump his body right off the side. Okay, I think that's it for Valtheim. I pulled up my inventory, and it looks like there's still a red border, so I think there's still enemies somewhere. Let me pop a stamina crude potion, and we'll just go hunting for any other enemies. Sometimes they fall down here. Honestly, that was a really clean Valtheim Tower. Like, we got a really good mix of, like, bash interruptions in there. We killed Elsi really quickly. We got some, like, I think we got like 2 blocks on her and then just managed to kill her with our counter slashes. The reason we were able to kill Elsi so quickly is I popped that two-handed potion. I don't see anyone else here. By the way, when I was talking about Elsi's backstory, this is her journal. And this is where she actually documents her backstory and her letters to her previous partner and, like, her descent from being a refugee into a murderer. It's kind of like a cool environmental detail. I don't know. I think, like, maybe that's the end of the fight. Like, everyone seems to be dead. Am I out of combat? Oh, I guess I am out of combat. Alright, cool. Woo! We did Valtheim Towers! Celebration! That was super fun. That was a really clean Valtheim Towers clear as well. There's a bow that we're going to grab there and an archery skill book. Grab this potion as well. Honestly, that wasn't super dangerous as far as Valtheim goes. Like, I feel like we didn't get that many spawns. Like, there were quite a few bandits that spawned, but it wasn't super overwhelming and we were mostly able to manage them. We also had some really clean bash interruptions early on in the fight that enabled us to pick off a lot of those melee people. So overall, really kind of like clean execution of that Valtheim Towers clear. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, I'm a little ambivalent about like recording all of the looting for this because it's going to be kind of boring. Ooh, that's a nice pickup that we got there. A resist shock great potion. I like picking up these great elemental resistance potions because these will carry us through the late game, so it's nice to start collecting those now. Alright, let's go count up the bandits that we killed and see if there's any we missed. I don't think we ended up killing any bandits over here by this ridge. God, I feel like there's still some bandit that, like, we failed to kill and just like a random fucking bloodstain there. There's still some bandit, like, lingering around here that maybe we failed to kill and, like, he's gonna backstab us. We just gotta keep an eye out for that. Okay, so let's only loot the things that have a value per weight of 20 or higher, or, like, lock picks, because they don't have any weight at all. One of the tactics that I used in that fight that was super successful and I really encourage you to do on your own Valtheim Tower clear is after the melee enemies kind of gather up, is running past them, flanking them, killing the archers, and then fighting the melee people like as much one-on-one as you can. How many bandits are we at right now? There were like 2 over here, there's another 2 right here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then there's the dude that we killed and he fell off, so that's 8. There's also some treasure that we're gonna have to get down in the river itself, which, like, we'll talk about getting that treasure because it's really fucking difficult to get when you have unpaused menus. I'm gonna fuck it up a bunch of times and I'm sure I'm gonna get really frustrated. We have Elsi and this person, so that's 10. Now that we have Elsi here, let's talk about her weapon. So her steel battle staff is a very upgraded version of a battle staff. Typically, battle staffs have a base damage of like, I don't know, 60 or something. Yeah, like a base damage of 60. And Elsi's, even if we take off our like Iron Hand Gauntlets and Major Sure Grip, which give us extra damage, her battle staff is heavily upgraded from 60 base damage to 137 damage. It is obviously with our perks, but still hits super fucking hard. It just gives you a sense of what happens if she power attacks you with that battle staff and you suddenly just take like 400 damage from it. Let's grab this potion. This is a superlative potion. Yeah, restore health superlative. So this potion actually heals us up completely if we use it. Okay, so I think we're at like 11 bandits, maybe 12. I kind of lost track. Let's grab these potions here. Okay, 13 bandits. There were a whole bunch of fucking bandits I killed down here. 14, 15, 16. Grab some more loot here. There's another bandit, so that's 17. There's another, that's 18. I think I killed someone kind of like up here as well. Maybe over here. God, it's so hard to keep track of all these guys. I'm just gonna use this like ability that comes with Wildlander, called like the Hunterborn Detect Life ability. I think it's a little cheesy because technically this emulates the effect of a higher level spell, which detects dead people, but it will help us count the people that we've killed. There's this dead person over here, so I think that's like 19 or something, maybe 18. Oh, I've lost track. We're looking at least 20 dead bandits though. There's like someone who fell through the ground, who's like right here. Where else? There's a guy over here. Okay, we're at like, I don't know, 21 bandits or something like that. Yeah, I'm guessing about 21 bandits. Okay, cool. That was a pretty good fall time clear, about 21 bandits total. Whew, kind of a scary fight though. Let me call my horse over here so I can leave some of the inventory on Sergio before we head back to town. Good girl. I love how she teleports behind the tower for some reason. Let's definitely get the steel battle staff on Sergio because that's something we're probably going to save. And now let's also save the game too. We're leveled up. I'm going to level up before I forget. So for this level up, let's definitely grab health so we can keep increasing our health. And then as far as perks go, I'd love to get more of these heavy armor perks, but we don't yet have it leveled up enough. So I'm just going to hang on to this perk for now, and I'll save it and get more heavy armor perks later. Okay, now we have to do the most annoying part of Valtheim Towers, which is getting this fucking chest in the river. The reason this is so fucking difficult is because I have unpaused menus, so the game is not going to pause while I pick this lock, and the fucking river is going to carry me downstream. So I'm going to give this like 3 or 4 tries, and if I don't get it, I'm just going to like stop recording and do it off screen, because this is super, super annoying. So here's where the chest is. People always forget about this chest. So we're going to go down here. Okay, let's start picking the chest. Oh, no! Oh, I hate this. No. No! Okay, 0 for 1. Let's try again. This is so stupid. Okay, here we go. Let's try again. Every time we try to pick this chest, it resets. No! I was so close! Okay, 0 for 2. Let's try again. Oh, this is so painful. I'm so sorry people have to watch this. No! 0 for 3! This is terrible! I hate this chest so much. Oh my god. Oh no, we're gonna lose it here too. No! 0 for 4! Every time I get out of the lockpicking menu, it also resets the position of where the sweet spot is. No! It was so close! I hate this chest so much! Ah! Oh my god, this is so painful. Oh, I cannot subject my audience to this. This is like torture. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. How many lockpicks do I have? Alright, I have 90 lockpicks. So I'm gonna save the game. Or I'm actually just gonna stop recording, and then I'm just gonna pick this fucking chest. It's currently 7:42 p.m. in game, and I have 90 lockpicks. So I'll see you all as soon as I've picked the lock on this chest. I just can't subject you to this. This is so painful and embarrassing. Okay, so I'll be right back after I've picked the lock on this chest, and you'll see how many attempts it took. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I got it. It wasn't that bad. It is now 8:08 p.m. and it took me only 3 lockpicks, so it wasn't that bad. It was horrible though. Oh god. Okay, well this chest is really good. It always has some really strong items in here. It's too bad these are eminent wielding for one-handers and not for two-handers, but we'll definitely grab everything in there. Holy shit, that was fucking painful. I just got lucky on that like 3rd attempt. I was about ready to like buckle in for another hour of doing that. I fully expected to come back and have there be like only 40 lockpicks left in my inventory. Oh god, that's a huge disadvantage of doing unpaused menus right there. That was so fucking painful. Okay, well this gloomy weather reflects my character's mood right now. Let's put a few of these items on our horse so that way if we have to quickly dismount her and fight someone, our character's not encumbered. Okay, let's head back to Whiterun and turn in our bandit quest. As far as other loot goes, I didn't really get anything like too notable. Oh my god, I'm in combat again. Why am I in combat? What is attacking me? There's someone down here. Oh my god, there's a bandit over here. Ha! This guy's like hiding from me. Look at this guy. He's like all the way down river. Whatever our bandit tally was at, let's add 1.
Victory is yours. I submit.
Where are you going, buddy? No one runs away from Tanny. Oh, that's for hiding that chest down there, you asshole. Anyway, alright, 22 bandits, or 20, 21, 22, 23, whatever. I figured there was a straggler. There's always a straggler. Ooh, some of the merchants just spawned over there. I just saw 3 people kind of appear on the roadway. So these are the traveling merchants that wander around Skyrim. And they sometimes have some good items. We can also sell some of our stuff to them. dude is like sounds real bored. I love his companions too. He's got this like real pale necromancer lady, and then this like badass red guard two-handed heavy armored lady who's a girl after our own heart. Okay, let's see what this guy's got. Elven Warhammer of Despair is not good. He almost always has one really good magic item, but this one just doesn't happen to be very strong. Okay, and then no really good items here. I'm not super concerned about these poisons, like we're not going to bother with these, but I will grab these 2 scrolls of knock rank 2, because that will help us unlock expert chests, which we're currently not able to pick with our lockpicking. And then I'll grab this portable enchanting supplies for later, because we'll use this eventually. Okay, so let's go into our inventory. Let's sell some of the stuff that we have here. Just to get enough so we can actually buy his scrolls. Okay, let's go over here. Let's buy one of his scrolls of knock. And let's sell a few more things, and we'll buy the other scroll. I think we're gonna be like just off on the money. This is one of the problems with selling to these like merchants on the road, is they just like don't have a lot of inventory, or like don't have a lot of gold. So sometimes you're like just short. I think we're almost there. Oh my god, we're so close. I think it's 720 gold. Yay, 720, just enough. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we got 2 of those knock scrolls right there. That'll be helpful for future episodes. Okay, let's ride back to town. On the way back to town while we're out here, I'm just going to head over to the ritual stone really quickly, which is a standing stone that's on top of this little hill ahead of us. There's a bandit mage, not even a bandit mage, it's like an actual mage, it's like a necromancer or something, who hangs out on top of the stone. So we're just going to kill this guy really quickly and steal his stuff while we're out here. And the quickest way to kill this guy is honestly just going to be running him over with our horse. Let's do that. It'll be fun to watch. Let's make sure we know where this guy is, because this guy could sometimes have some powerful spells. Yeah, I see him. He's over there. Alright, let's run this motherfucker over with the horse. Get him, Sergio! This dude just went fucking flying. Alright, let's kill him with a power attack before he can cast these spells. Poor dude. Okay, let's get some of this stuff and we'll head out. I always like to pick off this mage right here. Sometimes he's got some good potions or items, and then other times he's just got some kind of garbage on him. Okay, so that is it for kind of the Valtheim Towers clear. I didn't really bother doing a debrief there because I didn't really want to backtrack the entire fight, but big concepts from that fight are managing your archers. You'll notice that I always prioritize those people, and I was pretty aggressive with my consumables. Consumables are so plentiful in Wildlander, so if your character's dying when you have consumables in your inventory, you really have no excuse. Like, just use your consumables, it will help you survive. So strategy for that fight was popping stamina potions, then running down archers. Then you'll notice that I wasn't too overcommitted to the archers, that I ignored melee people. Like, if I had a quick bash interruption, I would definitely take it, and then get the bash interruption and the kill before moving on to the archer. And I think it's really important to strike that balance when you're playing your own permadeath runs and you're clearing out big areas like Valtheim Towers. Because if you over-focus on the archers, you'll end up in a position where you're fighting like 15 melee people at the end and they can surround you and box you in. Oh look, it's the courier. I think this is probably the letter from the Jarl of Falkreath, because that happens at around level 7.
Got something I'm supposed to deliver.
This guy's like on the other side of my horse.
Let's see here. Ah, a letter from the Jarl.
Okay, yeah. So
Looks
this is
like
a
that's
letter
it.
from the Jarl of Falkreath right here, Jarl Sidgeir. This guy is sort of an asshole. He's like the very definition of a Skyrim fuckboy. He's like super rich. He's like kind of cute, but in like a greasy, smarmy rich boy way. Anyway, Tanny is super into that if it means she gets a lot of money. So she'll probably head down to Falkreath to see what's going on down in Falkreath Hold. But for now, let's head back to Whiterun. Got some stuff to sell. It's kind of a weird hour of the day. Ooh, it's the Khajiit. Oh, perfect timing. Sometimes the Khajiit, like when you come back to Whiterun, like it'll be weeks before you see them again, but it's nice to get them really quickly here.
Welcome.
Oh,
I
hello.
cannot serve you. I am sure that one of my other traders can do so.
Oh, thank you, Rasad. You're a nice
Take a
guy. Let's see what he's got on him in his inventory. Dwarven greatsword of depleting. It's like not horrible, honestly. I don't know. The enchantment's just not very strong. I'm not going to waste money on that. Let's see what he's got for armor. Steel plate helmet of major alteration. That's actually pretty decent because we do use alteration spells. I am going to buy this. This is a good use of our money. Everything else here we're probably not going to use though. I'll also grab another scroll of knock. Got some moon sugar, got some books, got some kind of miscellaneous items here. Okay, so it looks like we're going to need about 1,400 gold for the helmet and then 700 gold for the scroll. So let's go over to our horse and get some items off of her that we'll sell to Rasad. Honestly, you know what? I'm just going to use the gold that I already have.
The warm sand of Elsi. Take a look.
I feel like when you sell stuff to the merchants, the Khajiit merchants, they kind of like hustle you. Their prices aren't super good. This necklace isn't bad, like 80% health regeneration. It's nice to have a little bit of extra sustain, but I don't think it's good enough for our character to use. I'd honestly rather have the Amulet of Talos. Plus it's super expensive, so let's just get this helmet. And then let's also grab this scroll. And then while we're talking to Rasad, I will sell some skooma back to him.
I hope that you will
I
come
love
to
how
do
the
business
Khajiit
with
always
us again.
complain about like everyone thinks we are skooma dealers and thieves.
The wind
And
blows
it's
bitter
like,
cold in this.
oh no, little cat, you are not a thief, but you are definitely a skooma dealer because you are literally buying my skooma right now. You're also selling the skooma and you're selling the ingredients to make skooma, so
May
you
the
are
sun
the
keep you
definition
warm.
of a skooma dealer.
This land is cold.
Okay, awesome. It'll be nice to have a little bit of extra cost reduction for our alteration spells. So now that we've got some items from Rasad, let's actually head back to town. Let's go over to the companions and turn in our quest to them. We'll also like maybe grab a few level ups of some skills before we go to bed for the night. It's 11 p.m. right now, so our character is not going to be able to get to any merchants to sell stuff to them. Actually, I think I might just run over to the Whiterun, like to Dragon's Reach, the castle, and sell some stuff to the wizard, Farengar, because Farengar we can just wake up at this hour and sell stuff to him. Let's grab all this junk off of Karjo. Oh my god, I almost called him Karjo. Karjo is the name of another Khajiit, but it is not Sergio. Sergio is our baby girl. Karjo is also a baby, a fur baby. But he is not our fur baby, at least not yet. Okay, let's leave the Dwarven Gauntlets. We'll leave the Ring of Blocking. Ooh, I'll take the saddle too, because I think we have a piece of armor we're going to grab in town. Okay, this looks pretty good here. I'll leave some of this stuff on the horse. Leave that and that on the horse. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Because we're already at probably like 45 minutes of this episode. I'm going to stop recording here. Run up to Dragon's Reach. I'm gonna turn in the Valtheim Towers quest to Preventus, and I'm gonna deliver Adrian's sword to Preventus. That's a leftover quest from the last episode. I'm also gonna sell a bunch of stuff to Farengar. Then I'm gonna head back to the companions, and I am going to get a new quest from Farkas. I'm gonna rest, and then I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, do a little bit more shopping, and then I'll rejoin you all tomorrow morning after I've done all of that shopping, because I just don't feel like we need all of those logistics in here, because that's going to take another 15 minutes and that's kind of a waste of our time. And then if in the future people really wanted to see all of those logistics, just let me know. And then I guess I could record that in the future, but I feel like it's kind of boring, so I'm not going to record all of it. Plus my character is super encumbered by items that we're going to sell right now. It's not like 1,000 pounds of armor or anything crazy like that. Like Tanny could realistically lug 260 pounds back in here. I mean, like, fuck it. She's like using a greatsword that weighs already 17 pounds. Like, it's crazy that this weapon weighs 17 pounds. Anyway, so I'm going to stop recording now. I'm going to do all those logistical things, then I will rejoin you tomorrow after I've done some of those things. So we will be right back. Okay, everybody, we are back a bit earlier because I wanted to talk about something that we're going to do. I just woke up Farengar in the middle of the night. It's like that meme where Jarl Balgruuf is woken up and he looks all like bleary-eyed. Anyway, it's like that, but with Farengar. I sold him a bunch of stuff, so we made a bunch of money off of him.
You wish to master the art of
like we have now like 3,000 gold, and we sold a lot of like, you can see them in his inventory, like all these random cloaks and like that staff of frenzy. But the main reason we're here is also to get him to enchant something for us. So this is another Wildlander mechanic that's really important. If you don't have enchanting in the early game, you can pay court mages, as well as some other people too, to enchant items for you. And this is a way to get access to enchanted items before you're able to maybe find and buy them, or before you're able to do it yourself. So I'm going to grab our wolfskin cloak here and have him enchant it with a resist magic enchantment, using a greater soul gem in his inventory. So this draws from the pool of enchantments that Farengar knows, but if we knew enchantments, I think those would also be added to the list, so it kind of like overlaps a little bit. And if we had soul gems in our inventory, we could use those as well. But right now, we're just going to use the greater soul gem that Farengar has. So we're going to have him enchant this wolfskin cloak of ours to be a magic resistance cloak that will give us an extra 9% magic resistance. And then whenever I enchant items, I like to rename them just to kind of keep them separate in my inventory. And so I think I'll name this like wolfskin mage hunter's cloak. I tend to name my magic resistance cloaks things like mage hunter, mage slayer's cloak, or something like that. Anyway, so now the item is getting enchanted. And Farengar will have that for us in about like, I don't know, like 12 to 24 hours. We'll just let him go back to bed here. Poor guy. He's like, okay, I've done this thing for you. Please leave me alone and let me go back to bed. Okay, let's stop recording again, and then I'll resume in the morning after I've done a little bit more logistics. I will be right back. Okay, everybody, we are back. It's been like, I don't know, like 8 to 12 hours in-game time since I last did the Farengar interaction. Tanny is actually wearing light armor right now because we're about to do some stuff with her heavy armor set, and I just don't want her to, like, get naked suddenly. Because we're going to have these blacksmiths improve her heavy armor, but that's going to involve them taking it, and I just don't want her to be naked. That's not fair to Tanny. Tanny doesn't want to be naked among all these random strangers. So we are here to showcase a little bit more of that honed metal mod, which is the mod that allows blacksmiths to craft items for you.
Welcome to War Maidens. Now
So let's go talk to Ulfberth Warbear, because we placed a crafting order with him last episode. Now we can pick up our items, so we had him get some armor for our horse and an orcish hunting knife as well, so that way we could do more skinning and butchering of animals. Where the fuck did Adrian go? Oh my gosh, she's all the way up there. So let's grab those items from Ulfberth, and we also had Adrian craft us a few items as well. After we pick these up,
Hello,
I'm a little worried about gold. Let me actually sell some things to her. So you might notice on Adrian we have some like seduction options here, and that's courtesy of the Flower Girls mod, which I have added, which is just sort of like a lightweight, lore-friendly romance option for characters who are like more of the romantic types, or if you just want to like seduce people and steal their money. That's kind of more Tanny's speed. I feel like Tanny would definitely be flirty with Adrian, even though her husband is literally right downstairs, but like isn't going to go necessarily any further than that with Adrian. Just kind of
Thank you.
keep our options open. I like how Adrian's like, oh, thank you. It's like she's kind of like taken aback by that.
What can I do?
And now we have the option to give her items that can increase her affection value as gifts. But first, let's go over to her inventory and just like sell a few things just to make sure we have enough money. I think that's probably good enough for now. Honestly, you know what, let's just kind of sell everything here. So let's sell the old horse saddle, some of this excess armor that we don't need. I'll sell all of this light armor. Let's not sell the iron hand gauntlets. Definitely need those. Let's not sell our cuirass. Let's not sell our boots either. Because these are the items that we're going to want to have her upgrade for us. Okay, now let's have her go pick up our order.
Of course.
Let's get our greatsword we had her forge, and then these gauntlets and this helmet. We technically don't need those gauntlets and the helmet anymore because we like have better options.
Blades, helmets.
So we can just
Pretty
sell
much
those back to
anything
her
suit
really
your
quickly.
needs.
Like I'll sell this new helmet because we don't need that, and I'll sell these gauntlets too because we're just going to stick with the Iron Hand gauntlets for now. Okay, now let's head over to the other honed metal option, which is can you repair and temper my equipment? We can do it for either armor or weapons. I don't know why there's like 3 options here. Like I always tend to just pick the everything option.
Of course.
It's less important to temper armor because when you temper armor, the only thing it does is it increases the armor rating. But armor doesn't really degrade over time, so it's just like a static bonus to armor. It's not necessarily that important. It is pretty expensive. But just in the interest of keeping Tanny safe on this permadeath run, let's upgrade her gauntlets, her cuirass, her boots, and her helmet. I'm not as worried about Sergio's armor because Sergio just needs this armor to stay safe from an incidental hit. She's not actually going to be in combat or anything. Then it'll open up the weapons menu, and it is way more important that we have her temper our greatsword. And the reason for this is because greatswords, unlike armor, they do degrade over time. All weapons degrade over time. And if you don't have your weapons tempered, they degrade way faster than if they are tempered. So an untempered greatsword, I think, degrades by like 1 damage per like every 1 to 3 hits or something. So it degrades super, super quickly. You noticed this probably in episode 1 where like by the end of the first 2 fights my iron greatsword was down from like 135 base damage to 120 base damage just over the course of 2 quick battles. But a tempered greatsword degrades way slower. It's more like 1 point of damage per like, I don't know, like 50 hits or something. It's just a much slower rate. I don't remember the exact number. So anyway, it also increases the base damage. So let's have her temper the greatsword as well. Okay, so now we've done all that, and Tanny is just like rocking out some light armor right now. I'm gonna save the game because honed metal sometimes crashes the game due to some memory overflow issues. And it's a little late right now. It's 7:50 p.m. in game time. It looks like Tanny's leveled up as well from buying all of those things. I'll just do that really quickly. Let's get her a point in health. We're super close to getting heavy armor 25, so I think what I'm going to do is just save these 2 perk points. We're going to go to the Companions Hall, Jorvasker. We're going to sleep there for the night. In the morning, I'll have Farkas give me 1 extra point of heavy armor training. Then I'll level up heavy armor. I'll grab my order from Ulfberth and Adrian. And then after that, we will be ready to head out to the Whiterun Plains to do some bandit quests, because I have a few quests that I'm still picking up. So we'll get those all finalized by the next clip. So I'll see y'all in a second in like, I don't know, 12-ish hours in game time. So I'll see y'all then. Hang tight. Okay, we are back. Oh my god, that was a really painful period of downtime that we just went through. I am so glad I didn't record that. I had 2 crashes to honed metal. Plus, Adrian never came back to her fucking shop, so I had to wait for like 6 hours for her to get back there. Anyway, it was a total fiasco. I didn't have enough money to buy my items, so then I had to go like craft a few potions and sell those. Total disaster across the board. I'm really glad I didn't record any of that. That would have been painful to watch. Big updates since the last clip. We did level up to level 8 like I said, but we also finally went to Farkas and had him get us an extra point in heavy armor training. So now we were able to spend those 2 perks. So we had 1 on combat casting and 1 on combat training. And combat training will enable us to have more effective power attacks, won't cost as much stamina to use them. And then combat casting lets us cast spells in heavy armor, and right now the big spell we're going to be casting is going to be mage armor. And then as far as inventory goes, we now have our new greatsword, we have all of our armor back and upgraded, and then I have a few extra potions here, but this is kind of part of the fiasco as I ended up not having enough money to buy my items from Adrian, so I had to sell some potions. I also had to craft a few potions. It was just a total disaster. But I did get some extra food items as well because we're about to head out and do some quests. I don't think there's been any other significant changes since I was last recording. The big updates though are in the quest options. So Farkas, after we turned in the hired muscle quest, he gave us a quest to kill the leader of Redoran's retreat, so we're going to go do that now. That's a little bandit den that's kind of in the center of Whiterun Plains. Then we are also going to do a few other miscellaneous quests that I picked up. So the Jarl of Whiterun also has us killing a bandit leader at Silent Moon's camp. I typically don't grab these bandit quests because it can cause some quest instability with the companions. But I just wanted to guarantee that we had a few bandits to kill at the end of this episode. So I just grabbed this quest just to make sure we had content to film. And then I also have these 4 quests here, courtesy of the Missives mod, which is the quest board mod that Skyrim Wildlander adds. So one of those is just to retrieve a soul gem grand for Farengar. I typically don't get the gathering quests for Missives because they just take a long time. They don't give you a lot of money. But it'll be pretty easy for us to just find 1 soul gem and then deliver it to Farengar. So I figured we'll grab that in our travels anyway. Then I also have a quest here to go find a fugitive out in the Rift, or rather in the Reach, over by Markarth. This guy is not going to get marked on the map, so we're just going to have to keep our eye out for like shady and suspicious looking people, and then if we see anybody that seems like they match the description, we'll kill them. Then we also have a quest here because some fucking jerk stole Adrian Avenici, the beautiful, gorgeous, strong Adrian Avenici's necklace. Now they're hiding out in Riften, or at least the Riften area. So the next time we're over in Riften, we'll keep an eye out for that person and we'll get her necklace back. And then finally we had a quest to get an artifact from Bleak Falls Barrow from Farengar. Typically these artifact quests take you to places that are like fairly difficult in the early game, but this one just pointed us to Bleak Falls Barrow, and we're gonna go there in probably 2 or 3 episodes anyway. Hi Vilcus. I would get Vilcus to train me with a little bit of 2-handed weaponry, but as you can see we have like no gold left. We only have 15 gold, so we're just not able to afford it. Okay, so what we're going to do today, now that we're done with Whiterun, is we're going to head out and we're going to do these bandit areas over here. I think we're doing pretty good on time, so I think we'll be able to hit both Redoran's retreat and Silent Moon's camp in this episode. And then we'll wrap up the episode after clearing out Silent Moon's camp, and that'll be kind of a good ending for this 4th episode. So let's head out and let's get Sergio her new armor, so that way Sergio can stay safe from like random fucking bandits attacking her, animals who want to eat her, whatever the fuck else is going on out here when they're trying to attack my poor baby horse. Poor Sergio is sitting out in the rain. Oh, poor baby girl. I'm sorry. Have some armor. You'll feel better. Let's also leave these portable enchanting supplies on her, because I'm not going to use those until a lot later. And then I'll leave some of these food items on Sergio as well, but I'll save these 6 food items for the actual bandit areas. Okay, I think we're good here to head out. Take a little shortcut down here. Obviously horses in real life cannot go this way, but this is a magical Skyrim horse, so it can like just kind of bounce down the rocks. Alright, let's head out in this gorgeous weather we're having towards Redoran's retreat right here. And then we'll hit Silent Moon's camp. Redoran's retreat's one of the, I think it's probably the easiest bandit area to clear out in the Whiterun Plains. In the vanilla version of the game, there's only 3 bandits there. That's also true in the vanilla version of Wildlander. And then because we have that more spawns randomized mod, we might see like, I don't know, like 4 to 5 bandits. But it's a pretty easy bandit clear, especially at this point in time where we're rocking like solid early game items, like our ancient Nordic Hone Greatsword on its own, which hits for 228 damage per slash. That's going to be more than enough to kill most bandits in a single hit, unless they're super heavily armored. Oh, this is funny. These are the red guards who are still looking for their red guard lady. We're going to do that quest next episode, I decided. I thought of grabbing the In My Time of Need quest today. But I kind of want to dedicate a whole episode to doing that quest alongside other bandit battles. The other thing I thought about doing today was this Fort Neugrad area. It's super dark outside, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a fort over here. And it's currently occupied by bandits. And I thought of clearing it out in this episode, but I think I'm going to save that for next time when we can clear out Fort Greenwall. I think it's called Fort Greenwall. And then also do the In My Time of Need quest back to back. So for now, we're just not going to worry about it. We're just going to keep on traveling. Some Thalmor right here. As much as I would love to just murder some Thalmor on the road, Thalmor can be pretty scary. We don't have a lot of elemental resistance, so it's probably not going to be to our advantage to kill the Thalmor, at least fight the Thalmor right now. Oh, I definitely see some wolves over here, and as we know about wolves, wolves love to hunt down my poor, beautiful horse. So I'm just going to park Sergio over here, then get some mage armor going, and then just quickly hunt down these wolves before they bother my horse. Wolves just have such a bad habit of just like gravitating towards your horse and attacking them. Where the fuck are they? Oh my god! Are you flanking me? Is there another one? Just that one? Okay, looks like it's just the one. Okay, let's head back to Redoran's retreat and actually clear out this bandit area. So like I said, 3 to 5 bandits. Won't be super difficult for us. We're kind of like right here, very centrally located on the map. Let's use all of our food items though, just to be on the safe side. We're adding tomato soup to our rotation, because tomato soup will help us regenerate magicka quickly, and that's helpful in battle because we're going to need to be reapplying mage armor during the fight, now that we can actually cast it with our heavy armor on. Let's also get healing aura going. Unfortunately, I don't have enough magicka to cast healing aura without removing some of my armor. Just because it costs too much magicka. But let me pop that tomato soup. Now let's quickly get mage armor going. I think I need a little bit more. Yeah, magicka still regenerating here. Let's take a look at our character. Depleted magicka training fatigue. Oh, interesting. Last night while my character was resting, I actually had her do a little bit of like training with alteration magic on the training dummy. And it looks like I didn't rest enough because I still have a little bit of training fatigue from that, but not the end of the world. Like, we'll still be able to cast. See, like, now that we're actually in heavy armor but have combat casting, we can finally cast mage armor in heavy armor. Okay, and then last thing we'll do, which honestly I probably should have done this before I cast mage armor, is let's just make a quick stamina regeneration potion. And then we'll head inside. Just because, Redoran's Retreat's an easier bandit dungeon doesn't mean we don't want to be careful, because like sometimes you can run into random bandit mages and they'll kill you and you just like feel bad that you lost your permadeath run because you were being sloppy. So we just gotta stay focused during this fight. Okay, So there's one bandit we hear. There's also a dog that hangs out in here, and I always feel really bad about killing the dog, but unfortunately there's really no way to avoid it, because like the dog is going to attack us no matter what. Okay, so I see that dog over there, and I also see a bandit near the dog. Let me see if I can lure the dog over here. Sorry, dog. I feel really bad about this. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, they heard me, so I'm just going to charge. Okay, let's get our lantern on. Let's kill this guy. God, we sent that guy fucking flying. Let's see who comes through this doorway. Okay, it looks like someone with a warhammer. This will be pretty easy. Jesus, lady. That was a really horrible swing. Let's just wait a second and see if anyone else comes. I think we're safe. This is like a bandit henchman and the leader is still back there. I don't think anyone else is coming. Let's reapply mage armor really quickly. And now let's advance down this hallway towards the bandit leader. The bandit leader is randomly a melee person, a archer, or a bandit mage. So we just gotta be a little bit careful and scout this out and see what kind of enemy we're facing before we just charge ahead. Okay, so let's take a peek through here. Okay, I see like dwarven helmet and like two-handed weapons. This is just a super— oh my god, this dude is super heavily armored. He's got like dwarven gauntlets and a helmet. He's got like Nordic armor and orcish boots. God, this guy is really buff. Let's get him with a sideways power attack. Woo! Didn't even stagger him. This guy is really strong. Yeah, I hit him with the power attack, but like... didn't actually knock him over. I think I missed that power attack, like I didn't cut him enough. Okay, buddy. So that time I did a sideways power attack, and I timed it much better than the last one. So at the last moment he tried to block me, lowered his guard, and then ended up getting his shit absolutely wrecked by that power attack. So sorry there, partner. We'll loot him in a second. For now, let's go over to this chest. I love these random bandit traps that people set in front of chests. Like, how stupid would you have to be to step on this? Like, oh my god. Like, even if you don't disable it, like, you can just open the chest from the side. I don't know, it gives you a sense of the quality of the bandits that are out there. Alright, so let's get some of this jewelry and some of these potions. This is a one-hander necklace, so not very good for us. Fireball scrolls, or fireball staff is kind of nice. Like, we might keep this just in case we ever need to clear out, like, large swaths of enemies, but for the most part I tend not to use staffs. We'll grab the treasure map as well. This is kind of continuing in the tradition of, like, incredibly well-drawn treasure maps of Skyrim. Like, not only does this have both the... This one's particularly funny because, like, the top half of it is like a little bit more ambiguously labeled, but like is still very clearly Whiterun, but also just has like a silly drawing of like a windmill and like a little horseshoe. But then the bottom half of this has like this kind of like gorgeous abstract landscape with like a windmill done with some perspective. I have no idea. I don't know who draws these treasure maps. I wish there was some lore out there about like the artist who draws these. I'm going to grab some of these alchemy ingredients for later, particularly the bleeding crowns, because those are really good alchemy ingredients for making spider venom potions and poisons. And this is Sneak skill book, which I don't really care about, so I'm just going to leave that there. Sometimes a potion spawns here, but it's totally random. Looks like we did get a potion this time, and I think it was a remarkable potion, because I think the superlative potion was from Valtheim Towers. Okay, so my man's here has a ton of fucking awesome armor on him. The best armor that he has is this Nordic cuirass, which is probably a big upgrade relative to our current armor, but we'll check it out. I'll also grab his gauntlets, helmet, and boots as well. Just leave this guy here, like, naked and armless on the ground. Kind of a little graphical glitch here that, like, his gauntlet stays on him even though I've looted him. God, honestly, this dude is like a skinny old man. Like, good for you, buddy. Like, rocking all that heavy armor and, like, putting up such a fight. Okay, unfortunately, our character's a little encumbered right now, so we're just gonna have to kind of, like, slowly walk back. Let me save, too, because, like, I'm always nervous about crashes. Let's get our orcish hunting knife, and we'll just do some, like, silly power attacks to kind of move this along a little bit quicker. And then once we are outside, we'll kind of sort through our armor and see if we're going to swap armors. Grab some gold here. This guy here. I don't know why I took those steel arrows. Like, we don't really need these. Let's quickly pick this chest. Anyway, Redoran's Retreat, as you can see, is just like not a very hard bandit area. Like, if you're trying to clear out bandit caves in the Whiterun area at level like 1 through 5 and you just want an easy intro to bandit combat, Redoran's Retreat is a really safe bet. You're probably not going to have too much trouble against the bandits here. I do feel bad about this dog, though. I think the worst part of this is, like, we can actually, like, field dress and butcher the dog, which just is, like, so barbaric. We are definitely not going to do that. I don't know. Maybe Tanny would be okay with that, but I feel Tanny, like a lot of kind of, like, crazy, violent characters, has a soft spot for some animals and is just, like, people that she's kind of okay with murdering. Okay, so we got all the alchemy ingredients in here. Let's head out of Redoran's Retreat and kind of like figure out our armor situation. Ooh, looks like it stopped raining. It's so pretty outside with like the northern lights and the aurora and everything. I can never gush enough about the Skyrim skybox. It just looks amazing. Okay, let's do a little bit of like logistical stuff here before we go attack Silent Moon's camp. Honestly, I probably should use those staffs that I got, like the Staff of Fireballs, but like, realistically, I think our character's just not going to be using a lot of staffs in this run. So if you're playing your own permadeath run and you feel like you're not confident enough to fight these bandits, like by all means go ahead and use the staffs, but I'm just probably not going to use them in my own run. The big thing we got to figure out though is if we're going to be using our steel furred armor or if we're going to use our Nordic cuirass. So the steel furred armor gives us, what would you say? I have a depleted magicka buff here. Oh, okay, I know where this comes from. So last night in game, in between the like Adrian Avanici visits, when I was resting at Jorvaskr, I went to the training dummy and quickly trained mage armor to level up alteration a bit, and I guess I just didn't rest enough because I still have a little bit of training fatigue there, so not the end of the world, but that will be a little annoying for when we're trying to cast mage armor in the middle of battle. Anyway, back to our armor. So steel furred cuirass is plate armor. It gives us rank 5 ranged and rank 3 slashing resistance, and a base armor of 376. So the Nordic cuirass, which also just looks fucking fantastic. I love the aesthetic of the Nordic cuirass. I think it looks really, really good. That gives us a base armor of 396. Also weighs a bit more, which both increases the stamina drain of our power attacks, but means we're more likely to run people over when we bull rush them. But let's check its resistances. Ooh, these are pretty good resistances. So we have a little bit less ranged resistance, like rank 3 down from rank 5, and then slashing is rank 2 down from rank 3. But in exchange, we gain 2 ranks of bludgeoning resistance, and I kind of like diversifying my resistances as much as possible now that my character is transitioning more into the later early game. Plus it also just looks amazing, so we're just going to stick with this armor for now. Let's put our steel furred cuirass on our horse. It served us well. And now let's hop on Sergio and head out and head over to Silent Moon's camp. I'm also really... Why is there like a fucking mud crab here? Huh. I have no idea where that mud crab came from. Honestly, probably from these fucking crazy wolves just like attacked that mud crab and like lured it to its death. We're also like nowhere near a stream, so I have no idea how that mud crab got there. Anyway, back to the armor Silent Moon's camp thing. I'm particularly happy that this armor has bludgeoning blunt resistance because the boss of this Silent Moon's camp uses a mace. And it'll be nice to have a little bit of extra armor against him in case we mess up a block or a bash interruption and we get tagged by his mace. But before we worry about the boss, let's talk about Silent Moon's camp itself. So Silent Moon's camp is over here, kind of at the foothills of these like larger mountains north of the Whiterun Plains. It's just this Nordic ruin that's kind of like built into the side of the hill. There's 3 pieces to this fight. There is a courtyard fight down here. You can see there's a little hut. There's a doorway, there's a campfire, and there tends to be 1 bandit near each of those 3 things. But because we have the more spawns randomized mod, we might see anywhere from 3 to 5 bandits total. The bandit that's by the campfire is guaranteed to be a bandit mage, so we just have to be careful about that bandit mage. Then after clearing out the courtyard, we'll head inside, underground, to kill the leader of the bandits. It's funny, the actual leader, like on the bounty, like kill the bandit leader located at Silent Moon's camp, that person's underground, even though the sort of like mechanical boss of Silent Moon's, the guy that's actually hard to kill, is up here in this little hemispherical burial chamber. So courtyard first, then the underground area, and then we'll deal with the boss up there. We'll talk more about the boss fight with Ron the Crow in a second, but before we do that, let's clear out the downstairs area. Okay, so let's get mage armor reapplied and we'll sneak closer. I'm not super worried about using our potions for this fight. Like, this tends to be a pretty easy fight as long as we just like aren't total idiots as we take on the bandits here. But it is helpful to sneak closer so that way we can close the gap on these bandits before they notice. So this guy heard me. Let's run this guy down. I don't even care if he shoots me. Let's get the knockdown, finish him off. So that guy's dead. Looks like there's a crossbow up there. worried about running up here because I'm worried this mage is gonna see us. Alright, fuck it, let's just go. Shit, that mage's over there, and I see that mage has a staff. I'm actually gonna back off because I'm not sure what that staff is. Don't like that. Okay, let's use a Spirit Wolf Scroll. We're gonna use a Spirit Wolf Scroll here to kind of draw their fire. So now that they're engaged with the wolf, we can take this guy down and kill him with a power attack. So that's just kind of a safe way to draw fire. And now we can kill that guy as well. Spirit Wolf is a really fantastic scroll. I don't think we alerted those guys up there either. Yeah, I think we're safe. So anyway, Spirit Wolf is a really, really great scroll to distract bandit mages and archers. This guy didn't have that many scary items, but like we could easily envision the Staff of Fire Sparks being something legitimately scary, like a Staff of Chain Lightning or Ice Wind or Ice Storm or whatever it's called. So by summoning a Spirit Wolf, we were able to avoid any extra danger from this guy. And we were able to flank him and kill him with a power attack really quickly. What the fuck is this Imperial Legionnaire doing here? He's just like checking it out. He's like scouting out the bandits and he's like, huh, okay, some mercenary is murdering the bandits here. We'll just update Central Command. Alright, let's move Sergio inside of the Silent Moon's courtyard just to be safe so that way no like roving animals attack her. And let's also go loot this archer just to see if she has anything good on her. Okay, looks like nothing. No like seriously good items here. I always like to joke, you can hear them like doing their blacksmithing up there. Ron the Crow and his lieutenants, even though it's like fucking 1:30 in the morning right now. And don't worry, he's still hard at work. He's got to make his collection of swords and axes and maces and stuff like that. I think that's always the headcanon for me about why the actual bandit leader is inside here. Like if I pull my HUD up, you can see that on the quest marker. Whereas the boss is up here because Boss Ron, he's too busy with his hobbies and his bros and just hanging out to actually run the gang. He leaves the running of the gang to whatever the stooge is that's in here. Okay, so let's sneak into Silent Moon's interior and start clearing out the bandits in here before we deal with Ron the Crow. I'm surprised these guys aren't sleeping. Oh shit, they're actually right there. Jeez. Okay, let's kind of like come around the corner at a tight angle and see if we can dodge this arrow. Because that'll work. Oh jeez, I totally fucking missed that. That was really awful. So that guy's gonna go that way. Kill this guy here. Let's come over here, figure out where this dude is. This dude is really overextended. I think there's probably one more. God damn it. God, we're just getting like absolutely murdered by bows right now. Thankfully we have really good armor, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's loot these people. It was a little sloppy. Like, I don't really love that these guys shot us so many times, but like, I'd rather be a little cautious against, the guy with the warhammer than the people with the bows. The guy with the warhammer is the one who's most likely to kill us in a single hit. Like, if his power attack hits us, that would probably take away about half of our health in a single shot. Whereas the bows just aren't that scary. Like, we can take a few of those because we have heavy armor. Okay, let's clear out the rest of this. There's some treasure back here. Most of this treasure, like, isn't super good, but there are some good potions back here that could be valuable for fighting Ron the Crow, so I do want to grab those before we do that boss fight. Also, if we're lucky, we might level up just from lock-picking stuff. Which would be really nice because then we would be level 9 before fighting Ron the Crow. I think if I leveled up, I would probably get the next perk in block. Because I think our block, we still only have the first perk of block, and it'd be nice to get the next one. We're so close. I don't think we're gonna have enough though. I think we're gonna be just shy. Alright, let's grab these Fortify Magicka potions, stamina potions, some health potions. This green weapon here, I tend not to use them. These are lunar weapons. These are the weapons that Ron and his bros are just like crafting all day. I don't know why he's crafting them. It's not like he's giving them to his friends. It's not like they're using them to fight me. They're just like kind of scattered around. I don't know, maybe he's selling them or something. Anyway, if you want an early game like enchanted fire weapon, you can use these lunar weapons, but I just tend to leave them here. And the potions that we got were Fortify Magicka potions, got a Fortify Stamina potion, Fortify Stamina Great potion. I think we already had this in our inventory. I think we got this Stamina Decent potion is what we got. But then we also got a Health Regeneration Great and a Fortify Health Good potion as well. So kind of a nice little assortment there. I'm also going to grab this Lingering Damage Stamina potion and quickly hotkey that because we're going to use this to fight Ron. Grab some alchemy ingredients. Let's grab this troll fat over here on the top shelf. Then let's pick this last lock and then we'll head out. Let's start talking about the Ron the Crow fight while we're doing some of this lock picking because I'm so fucking bad at lock picking. This is probably going to take a few more picks. So Ron the Crow is a heavy armor fighter who uses a shield and a mace. He also has a longbow in his inventory with explosive steel electricity arrows. So he's pretty scary at close range and long range. If you get too far away from him, he'll shoot you with the arrows. And if you're too close to him, he'll beat the hell out of you with his mace and his shield. He actually uses a special orcish mace called Bouncer. And Bouncer has a small percentage chance to deal extra damage and inflict a knockdown effect on you. We're also going to jump up here as well because people always forget there's some potions up here on this little top part of the ruins. We're going to go over there. But the knockdown effect that's inflicted by Bouncer doesn't just knock you down like a shield bash knocks you down. It actually sends you fucking flying. So I've been hit on these stairs before by Ron and Bouncer has triggered and it's sent me flying like all the way back to the fucking road. Which obviously also kills you because like the damage of the physics in the fall will also kill you even if the mace doesn't. So Bouncer is scary, plus he has a shield, and he has enough perks on his shield where he can both disarm you and knock you down if you're unlucky and he hits you with a shield bash. So at close range he's scary and at long range he's scary, and this is a problem because his lieutenants are all mages or archers for the most part, so if you get too bogged down with Ron in the front lines they'll just tear you apart from the back. But if you try to ignore Ron too much and get too far away from him, he'll pull out his bow. He's a really, really good shot, and his arrows hit really hard and have a ton of armor penetration. So honestly, I think Ron might be a slightly harder boss than Elsi, all considered, but he just doesn't have as many people around him, which makes the fight a little bit easier. Okay, so let's make that Fortify Stamina Regeneration potion, and then let's use the Fortify Health Good potion. Let's use the Regeneration Crude potion, the Stamina Crude potion. Well, let's use the Magicka one too. Shit, let's just use all of these. And I'm going to hotkey these and then use these kind of like right before the battle starts. And I'm also just going to clean up my hotkeys slightly. I don't really need Candlelight hotkeyed right now. Okay, that looks good enough. So what we're going to do here is we're going to sneak up to Ron and hopefully get as close to him and his buddies as possible. But there's a chance they're going to hear me as I sneak closer to their blacksmith forge. And as soon as they hear me, I'm going to pop all of these potions that I've hotkeyed. And I'm going to get my mage armor going. And then depending on like how close we get to them, I might end up using a spirit wolf just to distract them so I can get to their archers and mages before they're able to focus on me. But let's just see how close we can get because they might hear us through the walls right here. So they actually haven't heard me, so that's really good. I think we're probably going to make it all the way to the entrance here, which is really nice. So let's pop our health potion. Let's kind of pop all of these right here. Let's get our mage armor ready. And then we're going to summon a spirit wolf, use the spirit wolf to distract them, and then we're going to immediately hunt down some of the archers and kill them. Spirit wolf's out. Let's run to the back. Let's kill that person. Let's kill that person. Jesus. Let's kill that person. Ah, that was fantastic. Okay, so the spirit wolf distracted those guys long enough for me to get to the back and kill them, and now it's just Ron. Alright, Ron's a fun duel. Let's get our stamina poison going. Let's see if we can get a bash on Ron, and then clip him with the stamina damage potion. Okay, so we got our stamina damage working. Let's kind of run around him here, get a little bit more space. Now let's work on some power attacks. Let's cut out. Let's cut in. He actually got the block right there. Oh boy, let's get a corner cut there. Chase him back down, get him from behind. Another corner cut out. Get the bash, see if we can clip him. Oh, got a shield up in time. Pop a stamina potion here, just so we don't run out of stamina. I don't know why he took his fucking bow out. That was really fucking stupid. There was really not the range at which to do that, Ron. Let's do another power attack. Get him with the clip there. Still in it. Still in the fight. See if we can get him to do a power attack from far away. There we go. Follow up. And there's the fucking kill. Woo! Okay, that was a really clean Ron kill right there. We use that stamina potion to gradually work down his stamina. And I have found that when we use stamina poisons to hit enemies, they tend to get more desperate with their power attacks. And I think there's some like glitch in their AI that causes them to like, oh, I've regenerated just enough stamina to do a power attack, so I'm going to do it. Plus, by working his stamina down, we also got him to move a lot slower. And then we just kind of like rope-a-doped Ron right there. Like honestly, that's kind of the way that you should be fighting all shield, heavy armor enemies right there. Opening with the bash interruption, tagging them with the poison, letting the poison work, and then using some sideways power attacks to gradually punch through their shield defenses. Ron did make a really weird tactical error right here. Let me actually save in case we crash. Like, I'd hate to crash after that super, super clean fight. Ron made a weird tactical error here where he, like, pulled out his bow. Like, I was over here and he was by this table, and for some reason he thought that was a good range to pull out his bow. So I kind of got a free slash in there. But then after that, we did a few more power attacks. He did a taunt, and I identified that, like, I think if I get far enough away from him as he's taunting, he's going to power attack me. Sure enough, he did power attack me, and then I was ready. Kind of corner cut out of the way, did a power attack, and finished him off. I love Ron's inventory. This is, like, the ultimate example of environmental storytelling right here. So, Ron, first of all, here's the steel shock arrows I was talking about, so let's grab those. And here's his mace bouncer, which is just like, God, fucking look at this thing. What a brutish weapon. This is honestly the exact kind of weapon that like a blacksmith bro like Ron would be using. Like, I feel like we all know like Ren Fair bros who like use these kind of weapons on their belts when they're going to Ren Fair. Like big burly people who like blacksmithing, and they're like super, super chill, really nice guys. And they just like these absolute hunks of steel on their belt. We'll grab one of those. I also love that Ron is like a history nerd, and he has his like unabridged history of the Empire in his inventory. And then he also has this letter in his inventory, which is from his ex-girlfriend, who's like left him because Ron is so busy. He's like doing enchanting, he's like making maces and shit. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but he's not paying attention to poor Farava. So Farava leaves him and joins up with Hajvar Ironhand. That's actually really funny because it actually suggests that Farava's one of the bandits that we killed at White River Walk. So we've actually probably killed Ron's girlfriend in a previous episode. Anyway, that's the end of the Ron the Crow fight. There's some other loot up here. There's like a smithing heavy armor book over here, and then its complementary volume, the light armor smithing book, is over here. And then there's also this adorable notes on the Lunar Forge, and like this is definitely Ron's handwriting because when you open it up you sort of just like assume this is Ron talking about like how to work the forge. I don't know, maybe he stole this from someone though. It wouldn't surprise me if Ron is like not the most scrupulous person and would like murder someone to steal their notes on the forge. Anyway, really clean fight right there. The Spirit Wolf distraction was really important because that distracted them long enough for me to hit the back lines here. You'll also notice that as this mage here was slashing me with his dagger, like I didn't really care too much about that. Like I just let him do his thing. I didn't waste any time, or maybe this was the mage and he was slashing me with a sword. I didn't waste any time with like bashing or blocking. Like we just killed this guy because if this guy wants to trade blow for blow where he has an iron sword and I have a great sword, that's a fight that I'll win 100% of the time. Okay, let's see what loot we got over here. Ugh, terrible loot. That's not very good. Alright, well I might as well grab some of these things. I'll grab this wood as well, because it's nice to have wood on our horse's inventory in case we're like out in a cold area. Sorry Ron. I also love like sorry, I'm just like manhandling Ron's body here. Ron has like, oh my god, I love Ron's like model here. It's randomly generated, but I think this one's really perfect. He's like this balding guy with a mustache. Like, this is just like perfect. This is exactly how I imagine Ron looking here, but you can have your helmet back. Alright, well that's it for the Silent Moons fight. Pretty clean clear of Silent Moons. Really, really clean fight against Ron as well. Like, if you're ever looking for how to beat Ron the Crow, like that's kind of the textbook way to beat Ron the Crow right there. Little bit of poison, a bunch of power attacks, bunch of dodges, exploiting openings, and then following up with power attacks if he does power attacks and leaves himself overextended. So I think that's probably it for the episode here. Let me just quickly minimize the window. I sometimes can pull up the console, and the console actually pauses the game. I recommend if you're using unpaused menus that you don't have the console unpause the game, because sometimes you have to do some troubleshooting. But let me quickly minimize this to see how much recording time we have on this episode. Okay, I think we're good for this episode then. I was considering maybe going over to Fort Greenwall and clearing out the bandits over there, but I think we're fine. I think we've at the capacity for this episode. So thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoyed our kind of like very combat heavy episode here as we transition into the kind of like later early game, starting to get closer to the mid game episode by episode. Next time we're going to do the In My Time of Need quest, which is the quest where you fight the Alakir warriors and help out Sadia, or like maybe betray Sadia. It's kind of up to you. One of those more controversial quests that has some role-playing decisions. Oh my god, what is attacking me? Ah, it's a saber cat! No! Leave my horse alone! Let's run over here. Don't hurt my horsey. Let's get our mage armor going. No! Stop attacking my horse! Honestly, this is as good a place to pause as any. Is that another fucking animal? Good, it's just an elk. Alright, I'm just gonna butcher this animal, so that way we can see if we can get some, like, ingredients that might help us later on. But thank you again for watching, and I will see you all next time as we do In My Time of Need. We'll go back and talk to the companions, get some more quests from them. We'll also clear out Fort Greenwall next episode as well. So if you have any comments or feedback, let me know below. Otherwise, I will see you all in our next episode. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!